Now we are going to study about magnetizing field intensity. The magnetizing field intensity is the extent to which the external magnetizing field, means the external magnetic field, can magnetize a substance. So this is the magnetizing field intensity. This is defined as the extent, or you can say the limit up to which the external magnetizing field or the magnetic field can magnetize a substance. And magnetizing field intensity is represented by H vector. So it is a vector quantity. And it is defined as the ratio of magnetizing field and permeability of free space. So what is the magnetizing field? This is just the magnetic field that we generally talk about. So magnetic field in vacuum, let's suppose, is represented by B naught vector. So this is the magnetic field in vacuum. So ratio of this magnetic field B naught vector and the permeability of free space, means vacuum. So permeability of free space is represented by mu naught. So ratio of these two quantities gives us the magnetizing field intensity. So in magnitude form, the magnitude of magnetizing field intensity is represented by just H, and that will be equal to the magnetic field or the magnetizing field divided by the permeability of free space. So this is in magnitude form. Now if we will write this equation in vector form, so that will become H vector is equal to B naught vector divided by mu naught as it is. So in vector form, H vector can be written as B naught vector divided by mu naught. So this is the intensity, the magnetizing field intensity, and this is the magnetizing field or the magnetic field. So from this equation, B naught vector can be written as mu naught times H vector. So magnetic field or the magnetizing field in vacuum is equal to the permeability of free space times the magnetizing field intensity, or it is also called as magnetic intensity. So H vector is called as magnetizing field intensity, or it is also called as magnetic intensity. Now in the previous lecture we had represented the magnetization by I vector. So in the previous lecture we talked about the magnetization or intensity of magnetization. So that was represented by I vector. Now in this lecture and in the upcoming lectures, we will represent the magnetization by another variable, which is M vector. So in the previous lecture, we have taken magnetization or the intensity of magnetization was denoted by I vector, but in this lecture we are denoting it by M vector, and that's because the symbol I will be used for current. So to avoid confusion, we will write the intensity of magnetization by M vector. So you can correct this. So this is also correct in the previous lecture. So this denotion is also correct. This representation is correct, and this one is also correct. So if you want, you can change the representation of magnetization by M vector in the previous lecture. So to avoid confusion, you can write magnetization as M vector. As well as in the previous lecture, we had taken the total magnetic moment of the substance. The net magnetic moment of the substance was taken as M vector, so that you can represent by just mu vector. So the total magnetic moment of the substance was represented by M vector in the previous lecture. So if you will take M vector as magnetization, then the total magnetic dipole moment can be taken as mu vector. So you can change these representations in the previous lectures. Now this is the magnetic field in vacuum, and this is written as mu naught times the magnetizing field intensity. Now this is the magnetic field in vacuum. So let's say you have magnetic field B naught vector, and a material is placed in external magnetic field B naught vector. So let's suppose you have placed a substance inside this magnetic field, and let's suppose this substance is paramagnetic substance. And in the second case, let's suppose the substance that you have is diamagnetic substance. We know that if you place a paramagnetic substance inside the magnetic field, then all the magnetic dipole moments which are already present inside the paramagnetic substance, all these magnetic dipole moments will turn in the direction of magnetic field. So torque will act on those magnetic dipole moments, and due to that, all these magnetic dipole moments will align in the direction of external magnetic field. Now, in the case of diamagnetic substance, you have the opposite case. So, magnetic dipole moment of every atom in the diamagnetic substance is 0, and when you place this diamagnetic substance in the external magnetic field, then there is an induced magnetic dipole moment developed inside this diamagnetic substance. So, every atom develops a magnetic dipole moment when it is placed in magnetic field, and those magnetic dipole moments are in the opposite direction to that of the external magnetic field. So to decrease the effect of external magnetic field, every atom develops a magnetic dipole moment in the opposite direction. Means this magnetic material, this diamagnetic material will get magnetized in the opposite direction, so that to reduce the effect of external magnetic field on this sample. Now the opposite case occurs in the case of paramagnetic substance. So every atom has a magnetic dipole moment already present in the case of paramagnetic substance, and when those atoms are placed in external magnetic field, the magnetic dipole moment gets aligned in the direction of external magnetic field. Means this substance gets magnetized in the direction of magnetic field. So the total magnetic field inside the sample gets increased. And in the case of diamagnetic substance, the magnetic field decreases. Now, when a material is placed in external magnetic field B naught vector, so it can be paramagnetic or it can be diamagnetic. So whenever a material is placed in external magnetic field B naught vector, due to the magnetization of the material, an induced field is produced inside the sample. So in this case, the induced field which is produced is in the same direction as that of the external magnetic field, whereas opposite thing happens in the case of diamagnetic. The induced magnetic field is produced and it is in the opposite direction to that of external magnetic field. So this material gets magnetized in opposite direction, and this material gets magnetized along the external magnetic field, and magnetization means there is magnetic field. So induced field or induced magnetic field is produced, and that is represented by Bm vector. So Bm vector is the corresponding magnetic field induced inside the sample. So net magnetic induction inside the material. What will be the net magnetic field, or you can say the net magnetic induction inside the material? Now when you have placed this material inside the external magnetic field, so what was the magnetic field? That was B naught vector. But due to the effect of this magnetic field, the magnetic dipole moments got aligned in the direction of magnetic field, and the magnetic field got induced inside this sample. So this material got magnetized, means there was a production of magnetic field inside that sample. So what will be the total magnetic field inside the sample? So total magnetic field will be equal to B naught plus Bm in the case of paramagnetic substance, whereas in the case of diamagnetic substance, the net magnetic field inside the sample will be B naught vector. So this is the external magnetic field which is already applied. Then minus Bm. So Bm is the induced magnetic field produced inside this diamagnetic substance, and as we know, in the case of diamagnetic substance, the induced magnetic field will be in the opposite direction. So what will be the net magnetic field inside this sample? The net magnetic field inside this sample will be B naught minus Bm. In the case of paramagnetic substance, it will be B naught plus Bm. So if you talk about a general material, any magnetic material, it can be paramagnetic or it can be diamagnetic. So what will be the net magnetic field inside that material? So that can be written as vector sum of B naught vector plus Bm vector. So this is the general equation. So this is valid for paramagnetic also and diamagnetic also. So for the case of paramagnetic, Bm will be in the direction of B naught. In the case of diamagnetic substance, Bm vector will be in the opposite direction to that of B naught vector. So this is the equation of net magnetic induction or net magnetic field inside the sample. Now as we have seen that B naught vector can be written as mu naught times the intensity, the magnetizing field intensity. So B naught vector is written as mu naught times magnetizing field intensity. Similarly, Bm vector can be written as mu naught times m vector, where m vector is the intensity of magnetization. So this magnetic field which is induced inside the sample, this magnetic field is a result of magnetization. So H vector and M vector, they will have the same units. So this is the magnetizing field intensity and this is the intensity of magnetization. So from these two equations you can see that H vector and M vector will have the same units. Now using this equation, the net magnetic field, the net magnetic induction inside the sample will be equal to B naught vector plus Bm vector. Now what is B naught vector? It is equal to mu naught times H vector. And what is Bm vector? That is mu naught times M vector. So you can take mu naught outside and you will have H vector plus M vector. So this is a very important equation, and this equation is also used in many numericals. So numericals are very important based on this equation. Now we will see what is magnetic susceptibility and magnetic permeability. So these two quantities are defined for a magnetic material. So for paramagnetic and diamagnetic substances, the intensity of magnetization which we represented by M vector. So when a material is placed inside a magnetic field, the material gets magnetized and intensity of magnetization is represented by M vector for that material. So intensity of magnetization is directly proportional to magnetizing field. So this is directly proportional to the magnetizing field. So intensity of magnetization M vector is directly proportional to magnetizing field intensity, which we represented by H vector. So more is the magnetizing field intensity. So we have seen that B naught vector is equal to mu naught times H vector. And we have seen that Bm vector, which is the induced magnetic field inside the sample, this is equal to mu naught times M vector. Now we know that if there is external magnetic field, there is magnetization inside the material. More is the magnetic field, more will be the magnetization produced inside the sample. So if H vector increases, means B naught vector increases. So if more is the external magnetic field, then more will be the magnetization. So for the case of paramagnetic and diamagnetic substances, the intensity of magnetization is directly proportional to the magnetizing field intensity H vector. So M vector is directly proportional to H vector. And when you will remove this proportionality sign, there will be a proportionality constant, and that constant is represented by the magnetic susceptibility is represented by this symbol, and it is pronounced as chi. So this is the magnetic susceptibility of the material. So more is the magnetizing field intensity, more the material will get magnetized. And this is the proportionality constant. So this is the proportionality constant and this is the susceptibility of the material. Now as M vector and H vector, so they both have the same units as I have said on the previous page. So they both have the same units, means this susceptibility will be dimensionless. So this will be dimensionless constant. So it is a constant for a particular material and it does not have any unit. So it is dimensionless. Now for the case of vacuum, the magnetic susceptibility is equal to 0. So for vacuum, magnetic susceptibility is equal to 0. Now if you will write this equation in magnitude form, so you will get M is equal to chi M H. And from here you can find out chi is equal to M divided by H. So magnetic susceptibility of any substance of a material. So magnetic susceptibility of a material is defined as the ratio of intensity of magnetization to the magnetic intensity, or you can say the magnetizing field intensity. So the magnetic susceptibility of a substance is the ratio of the magnetization and magnetizing field intensity. Now we can find out the formula of magnetic permeability. Now as we have seen that B vector is written as mu naught times H vector plus M vector. And from this particular formula you can write M vector as chi M times H vector. So M vector can be written as chi M times H vector. Now this H vector, this can be taken outside the bracket and you will have 1 plus chi M times H vector. Now this equation can be written as this quantity is replaced by mu, which is the magnetic permeability, times H vector as it is. So this mu is a constant. As you can see, mu is equal to mu naught times 1 plus chi M. Now mu naught is constant. This is the permeability of vacuum, and chi M is also a constant as we have seen over here. So this whole quantity is constant. So mu is constant and this is the permeability of the material. So this is termed as permeability of the material. So in magnitude form, so B vector has come out to be mu times H vector. So this is also an important formula. Now in magnitude form you can write B is equal to mu times H, and mu can be written as B divided by H. So how can you define the permeability of the material? So permeability of a material can be defined as ratio of magnetic induction inside the material. So this is the net magnetic induction inside the material to the magnetizing field intensity. So this is the ratio of net magnetic induction inside the material to the magnetizing field intensity, and that is called as permeability of the material. Now what are its SI units? As we have already said that the units of M are same as that of H. Now what are the units of M? We have seen in the previous lectures that the magnetization has the units ampere per meter. So magnetization is the magnetic dipole moment in unit volume, and when you will solve the units, you will get the units of magnetization as amperes per meter. So the magnetizing field intensity will also have the same units. So from this particular formula, what will be the units of mu? So units of mu will be equal to units of magnetizing field divided by the units of magnetizing field intensity. So the magnetic induction, which is this is the net magnetic induction inside the material, or you can say net magnetic field present inside the material. So units of net magnetic field or magnetic field are Tesla. So unit of magnetic field is Tesla divided by units of H, and units of H are amperes per meter. So you will have units of magnetic permeability as Tesla meters per ampere.